What's up, guys? My name is Tai Zen. Welcome to the cryptocurrency.market channel. This is a reality-based trading, investing, and entrepreneurship channel. We do not talk about theory here. We talk about the things that we have actually done in the real world and share it with our viewers so that you don't make the same mistakes that we do, so that you can get to making life-changing profits a lot sooner than we did, okay? So let me share with you guys a few things here that happened today. So I woke up this morning and I looked at my Twitter while I was trying to get out of bed, and I noticed that a project called Veriblock, okay, their Twitter handle is @Veriblock, and they liked one of my tweets, and I found it kind of strange because I don't tweet out too many things about Veriblock. So I was curious about what it was that they liked on my Twitter, okay? And it turns out that they liked a reply that I had made to another Twitter user called @elimhair or Amber Lamps, okay? Back in a few months ago, back in June, Amber Lamps at the Twitter handle @elimhair with 2 R's at the end, stated, he quoted something that most EOS transactions are bots, says the haters, close quote. EOS doesn't care if it's bots or real users. Transactions on a blockchain cannot be faked, and there is a cost associated with transactions on every blockchain. If bots can prove the throughput capabilities of EOS, bring on the bots, okay, bring it on. So basically what Amber Lamp's Twitter was saying is that people are complaining about the fake transactions on EOS to make it look like there's a lot of transactions on there, okay? And what Amber Lamps is saying is that people are complaining about it, and Amber Lamps is saying that, hey, it should not matter if it's fake or real transactions. If someone is able to afford to make the payment, the fee, the transaction fee payments, then they should be allowed to make transactions on the EOS blockchain, okay? So it shouldn't matter if it's real, fake, spam, or whatever, okay? So I replied to it, and I said, it's similar to the same idiots, okay, who complain that Veriblock or anyone else is spamming the Bitcoin network. It's supposed to be permissionless, which means if you can pay the fees, go right ahead, mister. That means, and the idiots that I'm talking about are the stupid ass Bitcoin maximalist retards, okay? The ones that are on their elitist high horse thinking that, you know, Bitcoin is the best and that no one else should use any other blockchain but Bitcoin. And they think that everyone else is stupid and retarded if they use any other blockchain, okay? That would be the equivalent of saying, hey, you know what? We just invented the internet and no one else is allowed to use any other website except for yahoo.com or some stupid nonsense. Okay, so when I replied to Amber Lamps' tweet, and I put the @Veriblock on there, and so I woke up this morning, and that was like a few months ago, and so I woke up this morning and they liked that tweet, okay? And I was curious, like, why are they liking a tweet that I tweeted several months ago for? Because I haven't said anything, I haven't tweeted out anything about Veriblock since then, okay? So I'm gonna take a timeout real quick, guys, timeout, okay, and give you guys a little backstory and a little disclosure, okay? I do have some Veriblock tokens, okay? I am an investor in the Veriblock project. I do have some of their tokens, all right? Now, normally I would not invest into a token such as Veriblock, okay? If you ask me today, would I invest into Veriblock? The answer is absolutely no, okay? If I was a beginner, start all over, I didn't have any Veriblock tokens, I would not even pay attention to it. I would not even buy any of the tokens, okay? The reason why I bought it before with a small amount of money, I made a small bet on it, was because it was one of the IEOs that's on the Bittrex International Exchange. IEO stands for Initial Exchange Offering. So, you know, it evolved from, you know, the ICOs into the IEO. So instead of the teams, the blockchain teams doing the fundraising, now it's the exchange that's doing it for them, and then they're going to list it on there, and obviously they're going to charge a huge fee to do it and everything. So since we teach people how to invest properly in the cryptocurrency market, and you know we have one of the best training programs for traders and investors to learn how to trade and invest in the cryptocurrency market called the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint. You can get you a copy at www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint. Okay. Before we release that curriculum or that course to the public, we have our securities attorney, who is a former federal prosecutor for FINRA, okay, for like 12 years. He's a senior securities attorney for the SEC, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission in the United States of America. So he reviews all our products, right, all our paid products before we release it to the market. And one of the things that he always stresses to us is that, you know, make sure that whatever we say in the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint, we have actually done it. Okay, so that to reduce the risk of getting in trouble or saying something that is not kosher with the U.S. financial laws and regulations. So because I wanted to talk about the initial exchange offerings, I decided, hey, I will buy a few, you know, Veriblock tokens after it had crashed like, you know, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%. The initial exchange offering price was 10 cents. And then it dropped down to like, I think like 6 cents or 7 cents. I bought a little bit, and it dropped down to like 4 cents. I bought a little bit more, and it dropped down to like right around 2 cents, and I bought a little bit more. Now, if you add it all together, it's a very, very small bet size. It's a very small portion of my portfolio. That's why I don't even bother paying attention to it, right? I just wanted to do it to experience how the initial exchange coin offerings worked in the process, so that I can talk about it in the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint, so that our securities attorney, so I can show evidence that, hey, you know, if someone asks, that I'm talking about something that I have actually done. Okay, so it's down like 80, I think it's down like 80, 90%. So that's why I say that I would not invest into it right now. I would not buy it. If I didn't have any tokens, I would not buy it right now. It does not appear to be a project that's is going to increase in price anytime soon, okay, for me anyways. And plus, I would prefer to stick with the coins that are well-known, well-popular, that's easier for people to understand, okay? So that's the backstory, and that's the disclosure, okay? Now, in this video, guys, I want to talk about the Veriblock blockchain project versus the stupid-ass Bitcoin maximalist retards, okay? Now, you guys know that I call these Bitcoin maximalist retards, not all of them, you know, but about 99% of them are a bunch of stupid-ass retards, okay, in the cryptocurrency space. You know, they are the biggest absolute cancers in the cryptocurrency space. The reason why I call them retards is because they damage the cryptocurrency market more than they help. They think that they are helping the cryptocurrency market evolve and gain mainstream adoption and get better and bring more people in, but they don't realize that they're the biggest cancers and obstacles to the adoption of cryptocurrencies worldwide. Okay, and the reason why is because they're saying bad things, and they're calling everybody a shitcoin, they're calling everybody a scammer, right? And what they're really trying to say is that it's an incompetent project or incompetent people, okay? So if they would say that, hey, this project is incompetent, or this project has incompetent developers or anything like that, then I would not call them a bunch of stupid-ass maximalist retards. But the fact that they go out there and call somebody a fraud, a scammer, or a shitcoin without any evidence that they have, you know, taken ripped off someone's money or taken somebody's money and run off with it, right? To me, that's just a bunch of retards, a bunch of dumbasses, okay, that have never lived out in the real world, okay? These guys are sheltered, soft-ass snowflake millennials and guys like that. They just don't understand how the real world and the business world works, okay? They're living in like fantasy land, okay? Anyways, in this video, guys, I want to cover a few articles that came out recently. So because Veriblock liked one of my tweets, okay, I went and I researched like what the hell are they liking my tweet for, because I haven't talked about them in several months, right? And my quick, I don't know, 30, 40-second research led me to several articles, okay? And the main one that I'm going to talk about, right, with a few supporting articles, is one that is printed like 19 hours ago from the time I recorded this video by a writer named Jamie Redman. Okay, Jamie Redmond, and he's a writer on the Bitcoin.com news. So if you go to news.bitcoin.com and just search for Jamie Redmond, or search for the article called "Tiny Block Advocates Speak Up After Veriblock Abuses Bitcoin's Block Size." I'll have the links of all these articles and all these tweets I'm talking about in the bottom of this video so that you guys can just follow along. And if I forget to put the link in there, don't jump on my ass about it. For some reason, I always forget to do that, okay? But anyways, oh, by the way, guys, I hate videos where people are just reading the goddamn news to me. You know, like I'm capable of reading myself. Give me your opinions, or give me, you know, your commentary. Give me your insights into the article. Don't sit there and fucking goddamn read the goddamn paper to me, okay? I know how to read, okay? I don't need you reading the newspaper for me, okay? But in this particular case, I'm gonna read a few statistics and just pull out a few quotes on here, because instead of me taking notes and writing down the notes on the whiteboard behind me, I just figured the article's right here. And this guy, Jamie Redmond, he does a decent job of compiling the data. And so I want to share the data with you that he has compiled, okay? So I don't want to be a hypocrite and say that I don't like, you know, watching channels where they just read the news, and here I am reading the goddamn news to you guys, okay? So first of all, you guys know that there's a, you know, big battle between the Bitcoin Cash guys and the Bitcoin Core guys, right? So obviously, if I'm reading something or I'm sharing some data with you guys from the website Bitcoin.com, which is owned by Roger Ver, who is one of the prominent people that's recognized in the Bitcoin Cash community, then, you know, obviously we can expect that there's going to be some kind of bias towards this, okay? Now, one thing I don't like about this article, just so you guys know, is that I wish that they would have put it as an opt-ed or an editorial piece or an opinion piece, okay? Just like I'm telling you guys in advance that this video is an opinion piece, it's a commentary piece based on my knowledge and my experience in the cryptocurrency space, right? This is not news, okay? News should be facts, and then let the reader and the viewer decide, okay? So this is an opinion piece, it's not a news piece, okay? This article, though, claims to be a news piece, but the minute I read the headline, it says tiny block advocates speak up after Veriblock abuses Bitcoin's block size. So right there we can tell that there's a slant, there's a bias with the writer towards, you know, big blocks or small blocks, okay? So the fact that he used the word abuse, we can clearly tell that, you know, in addition to being a writer or an employee of Bitcoin.com, we can tell there's bias towards Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin Core, okay? So in this article, he says that the BTC community, right, recently celebrated the fact that segregated witness transactions accounted for 50% of transactions, and BEC32 transactions doubled as well. And BEC32 is some type of SegWit transaction. I don't want to get into that, okay? However, the celebration quickly came to an end when a few Bitcoin Core developers found out where the transactions derived from and got upset at the Veriblock project for using scarce block space, okay? And then it goes, Bitcoin Core developer Luke Dash Jr. urged the Bitcoin community to reduce the block size limit. He further called Veriblock, quote unquote, spammers and abusers of SegWit's block size increase to gain advantage over legit Bitcoin users. Now, this whole video is going to be based around that one paragraph, okay? First of all, you guys know that, you know, the Bitcoin Core team are in, you know, clash with the Bitcoin Cash people, you know, both communities, not just the team, but the whole community. Now, you guys got to know, okay, sometimes you guys, you know, hear me, you know, call out the Bitcoin Maximalist retards, the Bitcoin Core retards, okay? And I want you guys to know that I am completely neutral about all these Bitcoin, all these versions of Bitcoins, okay? I have no preference over Bitcoin Core, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV. I am strictly 100% a trader, an investor, and that's all I care about is making profits off of these coins, okay? You know, I'm not gonna sit here and be a hypocrite and tell you guys that, you know, I like one or dislike the other or whatever, and then invest in all of them. I'm not gonna be like a piece of shit hypocrite like the guys from Magical Crypto, right? The guys at Blockstream and the guys from Litecoin and Monero. Those piece of shit, you know, hypocrites. I'm not gonna be one of those, okay? Regardless how much money I make or how much money I lose in the cryptocurrency space, I'm gonna still try to be authentic and remain being Tizen instead of letting money or any of that dumb shit get to my head or get to me, okay? And then start making up shit and lying and being a hypocrite, telling people I'm not doing it and then I'm doing it, okay? So anyways, I'm neutral. A lot of people think that, you know, I'm a Bitcoin Cash supporter or Bitcoin Core hater or Bitcoin SV supporter. I'm not. I'm just a trader, guys. Like when I was trading stocks and Forex and stuff like that, man, I didn't give a shit about what any of those companies did. I went in there to trade to make money. I'm taking a huge risk by trading my money in there, right? So I want to make profits, life-changing profits. I don't want to make 5, 10%. I want to make 5x, 10x, 20x, okay? So that's my standpoint, okay? If you guys don't like the fact that I like to make life-changing profits from this new asset class called cryptocurrencies, you know, then this is not the right channel for you, because this channel is about real traders, real investors, you know, sharing their real world experience with you guys, okay? So back to this, right? Now, there's three things, there's a few things that I want you guys to realize about this debate or this block size debate between, I wouldn't even say it's a debate, it's a block size, what do you call that? Issue. Let's just call it issue so that I can try to be like neutral about what I'm saying here, okay? This issue between Veriblock and Bitcoin Core is not the first time. Like every month you can always, you know, search for Veriblock and there's some dumbass Bitcoin maximalist retard telling you that Veriblock is using up too much space or doing too many transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain, okay? So really quick, let me just take a quick time out and explain to you guys what Veriblock is, okay? This is not, this explanation is not intended to what do you call that? Show support for Veriblock. It's not intended to show as financial advice that you go out there and buy the Veriblock tokens or anything like that. I had previously just mentioned it earlier in this video that if I had to do it all over again, I would not be buying any Veriblock tokens right now. Okay, I just want to make this video so that you guys understand how to differentiate between what is legit information and what is bogus information. Okay, first of all, Veriblock, okay, is a blockchain project started by a bunch of guys. I think one of them, his name is, let me see here. Where is it at? Maxwell Sanchez. He's one of the co-founders, okay, of the Veriblock project. And what these young guys did was they said, hey, you know what? They saw that a lot of altcoins were trying to secure their network through proof of work, just like Bitcoin, but they had a hard problem getting people to donate their computing power to help mine or do the proof of work for their altcoins. And so Maxwell Sanchez and his buddies, they decided, hey, look, why don't we use since Bitcoin Core has the highest hash rate, okay, and the most miners, why don't we have what they call a proof of proof, or POP, P-O-P, proof of proof, where we take the data from the smaller altcoins and then we hash it and then we insert it and store that data, that hash, okay, whatever the current state of the altcoin blockchain or the altcoin database is. Let's just take a copy, a snapshot of that, and then insert it into the Bitcoin blockchain. And by doing that, we can have it secured, a copy of it onto the Bitcoin blockchain, and let all the Bitcoin miners secure it and protect it. And if there's any issues over here in the altcoin, they can always reference back to the archive that was stored in the Bitcoin blockchain. Now keep in mind this, guys, I am not one of those Asian guys that's good in math and science. I'm dumb as shit when it comes to math and science. All I know is how to make life-changing profits trading and investing in crypto. When it comes to the technical stuff, don't like, you know, everything I could have just said could have been completely wrong, and I wouldn't be surprised, okay? But that's my extremely limited, you know, understanding of the math and science behind what Veriblock is doing. So by doing that, okay, by inserting the data, the altcoin data, the state of the altcoin blockchain into the Bitcoin blockchain, it allows the smaller altcoins to be able to continue their project and not risk getting hacked by a 51% attack. Okay, so they're storing this. Now, something that you guys got to know is that I looked at the Twitter for for Veriblock, and I'm reading through their Twitter feed, and at some point they say that they are 26% of all the Bitcoin transactions. Okay, so they're proof of proof mining. Okay, the transactions that Veriblock is inserting into the Bitcoin blockchain, they are making up 26% of the Bitcoin blockchain's transactions. Okay, and at some point they even say that they're at higher or lower. Okay, so and then I've read, just a quick search online shows that sometimes Veriblock makes up 30%. So that's almost 1/3 of all the Bitcoin blockchain. 1/4 to 1/3 of all the Bitcoin blockchain transactions come from the Veriblock proof of proof mining. Okay, so now the Bitcoin maximalist retards, they're complaining about this because they're complaining, in the past they were complaining that, Veriblock is spamming the network by inserting all those proof of proof transactions into the Bitcoin blockchain. Now, I'm going to pause for a moment, guys, and explain to you why the Bitcoin blockchain has tremendous value around the world, okay? Because some of these stupid-ass Bitcoin maximalist retards, sometimes they forget. You ever do something for a long time and you just forget why you're doing it, right? And why you're supporting it? Like you might support a cause or a mission or an idea, and you've been doing it for so long, and then you forget. Okay, you forget. Like, for example, like Andreas Antonopoulos, when I first started getting into Bitcoin and crypto back in 2012, 2013, right? He was out there talking about how Bitcoin is electronic, peer-to-peer cash and everything. And nowadays, he doesn't forgot about that. He doesn't veered away from that. Okay, so and so some of these Bitcoin maximalist retards, they forget what makes Bitcoin valuable. So I'm gonna have to summarize it real quick for you guys, right? The reason why Bitcoin is valuable is not because it goes up in price, guys. That's not the reason. Okay, I'm gonna put my trading hat. I'm gonna take off my trading hat and my investing hat, and I'm gonna put it aside, and I'm gonna put it on my philosopher hat. Okay, my philosopher hat, and talk about why Bitcoin is valuable. The reason why Bitcoin is valuable, okay, number one is because it is a permissionless database. It's a database that collects, transaction data, and it stores it on there, and it's permissionless. For some of you guys that do not speak English as your primary language, right? Permission means that I have the ability to write data into that database. I can insert data or information into that database, into that Bitcoin database, okay? And less means that I don't need permission from anyone to go and write data into there. The only thing I need to do is pay the transaction fee, the cost to write data into the Bitcoin database or the Bitcoin blockchain, and I am allowed to do it. Like, I don't need your permission. I don't need Donald Trump's permission. I don't need President Putin. I don't need, Xi Jinping's, the Chinese president, permission. I don't need my parents' permission. I don't need anyone's permission to write data into the Bitcoin blockchain. The only thing I need is to have enough Bitcoin tokens to pay for the transaction cost to write that data into there, okay? The second thing that makes Bitcoin valuable is that it's immutable. Immutable, M means no, okay? Mutable means that there's no way that you can erase that data or change it, okay? Mutate means to change, okay? So it comes from the word immutable is M means no, okay? Mutable means change. So that means there's no change. Like, once you write that data into the blockchain, right, the Bitcoin blockchain, and the miners confirm it, and it goes into a block, there's no changing it. Okay, there's no one can go in there and change it. So that's the number two reason. And why is this important, guys? Well, think about it. Look at how throughout history, whenever a bunch of people invade another country and conquer them, they rewrite history. That's why it's called history. It's his story, okay? So it's very important that we have a international, global, universal database where people can write data into it and know that for sure that forever in history, it will never be changed. Okay, that's important, okay? Because then, a lot of things, there's a lot of benefit to doing that, okay? So that we know that that data cannot be altered. So number one, right, is permissionless Number 2 is immutable, okay? Now, just those 2 ideas alone, okay, just those 2 ideas alone is enough to make the network, okay, valuable. Just that. If there was no other reason for Bitcoin being valuable, just those 2 is good enough, okay? The third one that I would add that makes it extremely valuable is that it's anonymous. Okay, why anonymous? Okay, means in English, anonymous means that you don't know who the owner of that account is. Okay, now it's not 100% anonymous. Okay, it's not 100% anonymous. Okay, but it's anonymous enough. Okay, to where we can be protected. Now, why is that important? Why is it important that the database needs to be anonymous? Okay, the reason why that has value is because now when I write data to that database, I don't have to fear for my life that someone is going to hurt me because I was the one who wrote that data. Let's say that I put data in there that's critical, that can alter a political movement or bring evidence to something. All right, or open like let's say that Edward Snowden wanted to reveal that the NSA or the US government was spying on everyone, okay? And he had data to back it up. He can write that data and insert it into the Bitcoin blockchain, right, via a hash. And by doing that, he can remain anonymous and no one can know who he is, right? So there are certain reasons. Like, let's say that if I wanted to donate to a politician and I want to send Bitcoins to him, I can confidently do that and not fear for my life and my family because no one will know that it was me. But I support him. So that idea of having a private, and anonymous database to where I can make transactions and not fear for my life, okay? That's extremely important. That's extremely valuable. As long as I can pay for the transaction fee, then I should be able to insert that data into the Bitcoin blockchain. So let's review real quick, guys, right? Permissionless, right? Immutable. And number 3, right, the anonymity. And another thing that is important about the Bitcoin blockchain that gives it value is that it's decentralized. The decentralization nature of it prevents any government or any law enforcement, any police, any mafia, any bully from coming there and shutting it down. So if I have a copy of the Bitcoin database on my computer, right, and you have it on your computer, and a million other people have it on their computer, there's no way that the governments, the law enforcements, or anyone can come in and shut down and erase the database from a million people's computers. Okay, so because of that, everyone feels safe at the moment that the Bitcoin database will always remain there and no one can destroy it. Okay. The fifth and the last thing that I would say that is extremely important about the Bitcoin blockchain, right, is that its ability to confirm transactions. It's on Wall Street or in the financial markets, we call that clearing and settlement. So that when I send a transaction to you, within 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, right, then it clears and settles and you can resend that transaction to someone else. In the traditional financial markets, like with the US dollar, the euro, right, it takes about anywhere, it's called T+3, which is transaction, or plus 3 days. So the government or the banks and the institutions have up to 3 days, but the reality is it takes about like a week or 2 weeks. You don't see it as a user, you don't see it, but on the back end, in the banks and the institutions, they have to do that to make sure it goes, okay? So those are the 5 things, right? Permissionless, immutable, right? Anonymous, right? Decentralized network, and the 5th one, which is the fast clearing and settlement times, okay? So these are the things that makes the Bitcoin blockchain valuable. That's why it's worth $10,000 something per token, okay? So now, when we have the Bitcoin maximalist retards, okay, like there's several people here, okay? There's several people here that are shitting a brick. They're pissed off, man. They got, they're gnashing of teeth, and there's fire in their eyes, there's blood coming out of their eyeballs, because they see that a quarter to 1/3 of the Bitcoin transactions are coming from this Veriblock project, okay? Now, I want you guys to think about this for a moment. If we know that the value of the Bitcoin blockchain comes from you being able to insert any data that you want into the Bitcoin blockchain, right? And no one can censor you, and no one can prevent you, and no one can, you don't need permission from anyone, right? As long as you can afford to pay the transaction cost to insert the data into that blockchain, why should you be called a spammer? Okay, if I want to for fun, want to insert 100,000 or 1,000,000 transactions into the Bitcoin database every day, every minute, every hour, just for fun, right? If I want to do that just for fun, right, and I can afford to do that, that should be my damn right to do that. Okay, that should be my damn right to do that in the world of Bitcoins. Okay, no jackass should be able to come up and tell me, oh Ty, you are sending out too much transactions, right? And you shouldn't be able to do that. So we got one of the Bitcoin core developers, Luke Dash Jr. Okay, I think his Twitter handle is @Luke Dash Jr. Right, and he says that he's calling the Veriblock people spammers and abusers. Okay, and think about that for a moment, guys. The same Bitcoin core maximalist retards that are telling you they got the best blockchain, it's permissionless, it's decentralized, and all this other nonsense, gets pissed off when someone wants to come in and make 30% of the transactions on the Bitcoin core network. Think about that for a moment, guys. Think about that for a moment. Does that make sense to you? Is that really permissionless? Is that really censorship resistant? Right? Is that really decentralized? Like, you got a group of guys telling you, you cannot write those data transactions. You can't write those transactions to our Bitcoin database, right? We don't like it. Man, you know what? Back in the hood, right? Back in the hood, right? You know, I'm trying hard to keep things PG-13, guys, right? But basically, on the streets, in the hood where I grew up from, we would say, man, screw you and get your ass out of here, okay? Obviously, we didn't say that nicely like that in the hood, okay? In the ghettos. We use a little bit more embellished language, okay? But I'm working really hard to keep this thing as PG-13 as possible, guys, okay? So we got these retards telling the world, right, on their high horse, on their elitist high horse, like they're better than everyone else. Like their transactions are better than my transactions or your transactions or Veriblock's transactions. Man, screw you. Screw you. You know what I'm saying, man? Screw your freaking retard ass, okay? The Bitcoin blockchain is there. You want to pay the transaction cost for it? You insert as many transactions as you want, as long as you can pay the damn transaction fees, okay? I want you guys to think about this for a moment, man. Who the hell, what other blockchain complains about that? Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, Ethereum. Who the hell out there is complaining that, oh, you're writing too many transactions to the database? Okay? Who the hell does that, right? You got these idiots, man. They can't, these guys, man, grew up in their mama's basement somewhere. Keep in mind, guys, I want you guys to remember this, okay? My business partner, LeonFu.com, the honorable grandmaster, legendary, world-renowned oracle of crypto. I remember back in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, even today, I said, hey man, before we all retired, from our day jobs and retired thanks to crypto, I used to tell LeonFu.com all the time, right? Now keep in mind, guys, he's one of the top developers at Dell Computers, okay? And he's getting paid like almost $200,000 a year. And I said, hey man, you got all these Ethereum developers, why don't you go learn how to code in Ethereum or Bitcoin and make $500,000 a year? And he goes, why would I do that? I can just invest in it and not have to do any coding, right? And I said, these guys that are volunteering to code for Bitcoin and everything, right? Let me just share this, guys, with you guys, because you guys may not know this. I asked Leon, why don't he quit his Dell job and go work on Bitcoin or work on Ethereum? Because he's smart enough, he can figure that shit out. He's a real Asian. He's not one of stupid ass Asians like me who don't know math and science, okay? So Leon is a real Asian. He knows math and science better than most human beings that I know, okay? And he said, why would I do that? Dell is paying me $200,000 a year. If I want to go work in San Francisco in Silicon Valley, they're willing to pay me $400,000 or $500,000 a year. Okay? Well, why would I go and code on Bitcoin for free for? Why would I code Ethereum for free for? Right? And this is before 2017, before the Ethereum developers were getting paid $400,000 or $500,000 a year. Okay, this is like in 2014, 2015, 2016, right? And Leon said something that made a lot of sense to me, right? He said that, you know, if you're a good developer, you can make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. Why would you go work on something for free? And he said that if Bitcoin gets big enough to where they're paying developers, you know, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year, he goes, then I'll switch over and spend a few months to learn how to code in their language and then go work on it. But right now, I'm not gonna go do it for free when I can sit here at Dell Computers or go to Silicon Valley and make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. He goes, why would I go do that for free for, right? And so the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys, okay, is because you got a lot of these Bitcoin maximalist retards that tell you we got the best and the brightest minds in software engineering working on Bitcoin and Ethereum and all this. No, we don't. No, we don't. How many Bitcoin Core engineers do you know of that's making $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 a year? Okay, the top developers in America that's working on Facebook, on Google, on Amazon, on Instagram, on Uber, on projects like that, they're making a shitload of money. They're making so much money that you wouldn't believe, okay? How much, you think that there's any Bitcoin Core developers getting paid, you know, $500,000 a year to work on the Bitcoin Core software? Tell me one Bitcoin Core developer, I'd like to know. Luke Dash Jr., I don't think he's getting paid $500,000 a year, right? He might be making money from his Bitcoin investments, but he's not, there's no like person or company jumping out and saying, hey, let me pay you $500,000 a year to work on this software, okay? So whenever you guys hear these retards saying that they got the best and the brightest minds working on it, no they don't. The best and the brightest minds right now are working on things like Facebook, Google, Instagram, Uber. That's what they're working on. They're not working on a cryptocurrency project that's got, you know, that's still not clear. And the reason why they don't have to do that is because if they wanted to make money in crypto, they can work for Facebook and make $500,000 a year and then take some of that money and invest it into and buy the Bitcoin tokens. They don't have to actually work on it. And then if it gets big enough to where they're paying a lot, then those guys can easily come over and work on Bitcoin at any time. And those companies that can afford it, they'll pay for it if they're that good. So this idea that these guys are the best, I don't fucking believe that for 1 minute, okay? They're good, but they ain't the best of the best, okay? Anyways, guys, right? So you got these guys telling people, like, you got people like Luke Dash Jr., you got guys like Jameson Lopp, you know, who's supposed to be one of the respected Bitcoin people, right? You got these developers, you know, complaining that people are spamming and abusing the network. If the network is supposed to be censorship resistant and permissionless, then why are you trying to censor people? Think about that, guys. Why are you trying to censor people? Why are you trying to censor me, you, Veriblock, or anyone that's trying to write data into the Bitcoin blockchain? If I can afford the transaction fees, right, that's my business to write whatever the hell I want and how much I want into the Bitcoin blockchain, okay? So recently, so ever since Veriblock came out, this has been an issue with the Bitcoin Core maximalist retards, okay? Recently, it has escalated. Why? Because now, I think, let me see the date here. Recently, if you go to the Veriblock, right, blog on Medium, okay? There's an article by Maxwell Sanchez, one of the co-founders of Veriblock. Came out on September 17th, which was about 3 days ago. The title of the article is Veriblock adopts SegWit and will now take more space on Bitcoin. So before they were only taking up 20-30% of the blockchain transactions. Now they're going to take up even more because they have just released some software code that allows the Veriblock miners now to be able to take advantage of the SegWit. Remember the SegWit, right? Now, if you guys don't know, supposedly, now keep in mind, guys, I'm trying to give you guys a very, I have very limited understanding about SegWit, okay? So what I'm trying to share with you guys is even more limited understanding, okay? If you guys want to know more about this, click on the link below this video to the article by Maxwell Sanchez. He's a software engineer, let him explain to you guys. But my understanding is that in the past, before SegWit, Bitcoin only had 1 megabyte blocks. And now, thanks to the adoption of SegWit into their software, right? Now you can get the blocks up to like 4 megabyte blocks. Okay, so That's not 100% accurate, guys. I'm just saying it's so simple for this video explanation, okay? So go read his article and you'll learn more details about it, okay? So now that it goes from 1 to 4, right? Now they can insert all their data, the Veriblock data, into the bigger SegWit blocks, okay? And man, oh man, Luke Dash Jr. and all these Bitcoin Core maximalist retards, they are shitting a brick and blowing a gasket, okay? Now, for you guys that don't speak English as your primary language, blowing a gasket, okay, or shitting a brick means that somebody is so pissed off, right? They're so pissed off, they're gritting their teeth so hard, right? They're straining so hard because they're so upset that it's like they're taking a crap, they're taking a dump, they're taking a shit, and out comes a brick, right? And what that means is that the shit is so goddamn big, right, that they have to strain really hard to push it out. So when you hear somebody in America saying he's shitting a brick, you know, that means that that person is extremely upset, okay? All right, so these guys, these Bitcoin Core maximalist retards, they are so upset. They're so upset that Veriblock is now gonna put more data into the Bitcoin blockchain. Now, think about how much sense that makes, guys, okay? I'm not talking about from the Veriblock perspective, I'm talking about from the Bitcoin Core maximalist retard perspective, okay? This blockchain called Bitcoin is supposed to be censorship resistant, it's supposed to be decentralized, it's supposed to be permissionless, it's supposed to have fast clearing and settlement, it's supposed to be anonymous, and now you're bitching and complaining because someone wants to put more data in there, right? What do you think is going to happen when more users from the public come onto the Bitcoin Core blockchain? When more people want to use it as an electronic payment, as a peer-to-peer cash, and let's just say we got 1 million users come on making transactions every day, we got vendors everywhere buying and selling and making buy and sell transactions and sending and receiving coins on the Bitcoin Core blockchain. You think those guys are going to be happy about it? You think so? Right? They want to force you to go and use the Lightning Network, which has been proven, like they're telling you to go use the Lightning Network to make peer-to-peer cash transactions, and the people that's making Lightning Network is telling you it's not safe. Now, how stupid is that, right? There's no one that can say that Bitcoin is not safe. Right? It's very secure, right? It's been in the market, it's been in the wild, people have been trying to hack it for 10 years, ain't nothing happening, okay? And they don't want us to use that as the transactions. They want you to go do it on a network that's on top of Bitcoin that's proven unsafe, right? And they're telling people, hey, it's not safe to use this yet, right? But we can't use the one that's actually safe. Now, how much sense does that make? To me, that's retarded. That's the reason why I call these Bitcoin maximalist retards, you know? They live in fantasy land, guys. They're living out in La La Land. You know how, like, when I first came to America, right? I discovered Dungeons and Dragons. So I was playing Dungeons and Dragons with all my white friends back in elementary school, back in middle school. But as I grow older, right, I realized, hey man, you know, I need to stop living in fantasy land and live out in the real world, right? And nothing wrong with Dungeons and Dragons, but you know, hey, if I want to move my life forward, I need to stop spending so much time living in fantasy land and live out in the real world, okay? So these Bitcoin Core maximalists, it's like they're living in a land of Dungeons and Dragons, right? Where they're just living in fantasy land and they don't see that the real world around them. They don't see that, hey man, you know, there's people that just want to make a quick transaction, make it simple, download the software, boom, transfer the coins, and that's it. Man, are you out of your rabbit ass mind if you think someone's going to sit there and set up a Lightning node and set up payment channels to make payments? I mean, are you that freaking stupid and retarded? Do you think people are going to do all that when they can just take out a credit card and swipe it and be done with it, or take out their cash and make a payment for it and be done with it, right? So I'm making this video, guys, right, not to encourage you to go buy Veriblock tokens, right? I'm making this video because I want you to see the hypocrisy, okay, in these guys, in these Bitcoin Core maximalist retards that go around telling everybody that it's a censorship-resistant, permissionless network, and then the minute somebody comes along and makes 30% of the transactions on their network, right, they bitch and complain about it. They bitch and complain, right? This is the reason why I don't own any Bitcoins. This is the reason why I don't own any Bitcoin Core tokens right now. I own a bunch of Bitcoin Cash. I own a bunch of Bitcoin SV. You might think I'm retarded, but I'm here to make life-changing profits. I'm not here to play sides. I'm not here to play, support one coin or the other. I'm here solely for profits, okay? I got my wife sitting right next to me. I got my sons sleeping in there. He needs, his milk cans, they cost a lot every day. And then I got my kids in there with their private tutors. That shit costs money, okay? I can't pay for that with wishes and dreams. I gotta pay for that with profits that I make from trading and investing, okay? So I'm making this video, guys, to help you guys open your eyes and see the hypocrisy, okay? The hypocrisy in these Bitcoin Core maximalist retards that tell everyone this is the best network, it's censorship resistant, it's not centralized, it's permissionless, and here they are censoring someone, an organization or a group of people for making 30% of the transactions on their network. Okay, I want you to think about that if this is something that you want to make a bet on long-term, a long-term bet on it. Okay, do you want to make a long-term bet on someone that is a bunch of hypocrites? Like these guys, what's his name? Samson Mao at Blockstream. Him and his Magic Crypto buddies over there at the Magic Crypto channel, right? They're talking about how Ethereum is a shit coin and Ethereum is this and Ethereum that. All these shit coins and all these ICOs are shit coins, right? And then behind everyone's back, they're pushing $1.4 million into an INX token ICO, right? That's built on top of Ethereum. How do you think about that? How do you think about the guys that's telling you that all these coins are shit coins, but behind your back, they're investing into the coins that they're telling you is a shit coin, right? You won't catch us doing that, guys, because I grew up in the hood, I grew up in the streets, where your word means something, right? It's not like these fake ass that come online and tell people stuff and then behind everyone's back they're doing something different. If I tell you guys that I have some Veriblock tokens, right? You can come over my house, I'll show it to you, okay? I'll show it to you, okay? If you really want proof that bad, okay? And like I said, this is not a video to tell people to go and buy Veriblock tokens or anything. This video is just to show you guys, right, of the hypocrisy. And be careful. Be careful who you listen to out there in the cryptocurrency market space, guys, because we got a lot of fake asses out there. We got a lot of hypocrites. And we got, what's worse than the scammers, right? What's worse than the scammers like BitConnect or OneCoin are the Bitcoin maximalist retards. You know why? Because we all can agree that OneCoin is a scam. We can all agree that BitConnect is a scam, right? But there's still a lot of people in the cryptocurrency markets, guy, that think that these Bitcoin Core maximalist retards are legit. And I'm here to make this video to tell you guys they're full of shit, they're hypocrites, right? And I wouldn't trust a damn thing they say. Now, I also want to conclude with this, guys. There's a small, not all the Bitcoin Core maximalists are retards. Okay, there's like 1% of them that I pay attention to, that I follow, because they actually say stuff that, it makes sense. I may disagree with it, but it makes sense, okay? When you go out and call everybody a scammer and everybody a fraud and everybody's a shitcoin, right? That's when I have an issue with it. If you selectively say, hey man, this project is no good, this project is no good, this project, it may work or something like that, I can deal with that. But when you just put a blanket, okay, a statement that all these altcoins besides Bitcoin are shitcoins and all these people are scammers, right? Man, let me tell you something. When you come to Asia, guys, they don't even have a concept of these coins being scams or not. They're just traders. Everyone here is a trader and investor, and they're here to make some money. Like, they're not here to play sides. If you go over to Asia, guys, you're gonna be shocked. If you guys have never been to Asia, when you come over here and you talk about, so-and-so's a scam or so-and-so altcoins, Bitcoin Cash this, Bitcoin Core that, they don't give a shit. Like, they don't even pay attention to it. It doesn't even make sense to them. Like, why are you worried about that coin for, man? Just make your money and move on. Okay, so I'm telling you guys that. Hopefully this helps you guys make right and accurate and informed decisions when you guys hear these people talking about Veriblock or why they're spamming the network. And like I said, guys, this video is not in support of Veriblock or anything. This video I made so that you guys understand the hypocrisy in these Bitcoin Core maximalist retards. Thanks for watching this video, guys. And if you like our channel and you like the things that I talk about in the real world of trading and investing in cryptocurrencies, right? I highly recommend that you guys go to our site at www. cryptocurrency.market/blueprint and get you a copy of the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint today. It will help supercharge your portfolio, reduce the time that it takes for you to have to learn how to do it correctly, and it will help you reduce the time it takes for you to quit your day job and retire early. All right. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Go get you a copy of the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint today. Right. Follow me on Twitter at HeyTaiZen, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys in a future video. Thank you.